I'm ranking all 96 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks in 10 seconds or less per track. Starting right now, the worst track in the game is Bone Dry Dunes. It lives up to its name by being dry as hell. I swear, I wouldn't hate Moo Moo Meadows as much as I do if it wasn't for the fact that my friends pick it constantly and I'm tired of seeing it. And these stupid cows, why are you standing there? Get off the road! Cheeseland seems to be very divisive among fans. Personally, I'm not a fan of losing at the very last second because the shortcuts at the end of the track let you skip the entire final stretch if you have just 2 mushrooms. Yep, this sure is a mansion, and yep, it sure is twisted in this one section. This track is super underwhelming for a haunted house theme. Like, ooh, a flooded corridor, how scary. Oh, Ninja Hideaway is so cool, man! It was the first new original course in the booster course, and it's such a unique and aesthetically interesting track, and then you actually drive on it. Yeah. In terms of the tour city tracks, Berlin Byways is about as generic as you can get. Completely forgettable course with nothing of note at all. Hey, it's me, Mr. Nintendo. I'm gonna give you a quick tutorial on how we come up with our wacky designs for Mario Kart courses. So first you want to go to MS Paint, select the shape tool, choose the circle, and oh wow, that's Sky High Sunday. Hey guys, what if Boo Lake was called Boob Lake? That would be kind of funny, I think. I sure do love when a third of the road is taken up by trains that pass by every 20 seconds, and good luck avoiding them on 200cc. Alright, so unfun fact time. Here in Australia, Neo Bowser City is actually called Koopa City. Fucking Koopa City. And for that name change alone, minus 10 points. Sherbet Land! Of all GameCube tracks to bring back, we get Sherbet Land as one of them. Alright, I'll let it slide just this once, like how my cart constantly slides on this track, but they better not choose a second mediocre Double Dash track to bring back next. With how many tracks now share the driving with traffic gimmick, the selling point of Toad's Turnpike just isn't there anymore. Without that, it's just another figure 8, which we've had far too many of across the series. I don't like Amsterdam Drift, simple as that. These tracks based on real life cities were a cool idea in theory, but in practice, my god, I just don't care. Most of them just blend in and are super forgettable, and no, the small section where you drive through flowers does not redeem it. God damn it, Nintendo, you actually chose 2 of the most uninteresting Double Dash courses to bring back from Mario Kart 8's base roster. What a letdown. They better make up for it with the original DLC from Mario Kart 8, I swear. You know what a big problem with these tracks based on real life cities is? Most other racing games already base all their courses on real life locations. Mario's world is supposed to be full of wonder and whimsy, yet you stick him in fucking London. Hey, it's me, Mr. Nintendo, back with another tutorial for making Mario Kart courses. Okay, so we're gonna take that same oval we drew last time, but we'll mess it up a bit in Photoshop. Bam, it's now an oval that had a stroke, and Santa Claus is there too, I guess. Madrid Drive. Apply the same criticism from the previous city-based tracks, except here we have Big Soccer, so it's slightly better. Sunset Wilds, except the sun doesn't even set in this version, so it's more like Sun Wilds. It's also not a very wild design, so I'd just call it Sun at that point. Yeah, Snowland is alright, I suppose. The GBA tracks in the Booster Course Pass just feel pretty generic all around, but I think that's just because Ribbon Road's remake set an impossibly high expectation for them to clear. Again, Riverside Park is a fine enough track, but it along with the previous 2 are pretty flat and flaccid layout wise. The walking piranha plants are kind of funny though. What's weird about Grumble Volcano is that I actually remember liking it a lot back on Wii, but for some reason in this game I just don't like it that much, and it's barely even changed from the original. I think it's just because I suck at the third lap on 200cc. What a miserable downgrade, dude. Cooper Cape used to be one of the best from Wii, but they butchered the hell out of the underwater section. It's not a great course into just an alright one. Water Park is a neat concept, especially for a Mushroom Cup track, but I don't find it particularly interesting to actually race on. But hey, it sure does have water, and it sure is set in a park, so it ticks all the boxes for what it's going for, I guess. Rock Mountain, or as it's called here, Alpine Pass. Both names are really stupid, to be honest. Similar situation with a track like Sherbet Land, where Mario Kart 7 has so many awesome tracks to pull from, and they choose the boring-ass mountain. When in Rome, expect to drive through the same roundabout like 4 times, because I guess it's a cooler landmark than the Colosseum, which is cool, but is the only standout of this track. I mean, I like the aesthetic of Athens Dash. It's definitely a much more interesting course compared to most of the other city courses, but I don't really like racing on it compared to the others. Donut Plains 3 being this high will definitely confuse some of you, but there are some tracks that are objectively boring or even bad that I kind of enjoy for whatever reason, and this is one of them. Okay, so can we talk about how much shit Wario owns? He's got a stadium, the water park is presumably his, Ninja Hideaway has his branding, hell he owns a whole fucking mountain. That shit is not cheap. Anyway, yeah, Wario Stadium is a fine enough course. I used to pick this map so often with friends when it first released, ironically pretending it was a masterpiece, but I think at some point it slowly turned into unironic enjoyment. It's not actually a good map, but it's better than Moo Moo Meadows at least. What the fuck is this, dude? This isn't Sky Garden. This is a faker. Massive downgrade from the original, and it's so damn short too. I still prefer this new stinky layout to a lot of the previous courses though. Despite being a massive Mario Galaxy fan, this track does nothing for me. A generic feeling snow course with nothing to really call its own other than some light Mario Galaxy theming and a really janky camera. Like, holy shit, are you seeing this? Why is Mario Circuit 3 a part of this DLC? It's the most recurring track in the series for no good reason. It is average at best. You have so many other tracks from the SNES that haven't been remade once. I don't like this Rainbow Road that much. As any other other course, it's actually pretty good, but as a Rainbow Road, it's absurdly underwhelming. I like being able to switch between the 2 tracks at the end though, that's pretty satisfying to pull off. Much like with Rainbow Road, the Bowser Castles from past games set a pretty high bar to clear. This Bowser Castle is alright, but again, pretty underwhelming compared to the past ones. I think we need to put these giant Bowser statues to rest already though. What the hell is Vancouver? Are they just making cities up now? I've actually never heard of this place, let me search it up real quick. Canada, huh? I guess that explains why I've never heard of it. They brought back the circle from Double Dash. This game has so many courses that are essentially just a circle. But I mean, it's Baby Park, it's iconic, not as chaotic and fun as it was in Double Dash, but its leagues better than the DS remake at least. Ice Ice Outpost is truly the course of all time. It exists, and that's about as much as I have to say about it. Finally, a decent track from Double Dash is here. It's definitely not my favorite from that game, far from it, but it's a nice course that seems to be liked by most. Good job Nintendo, we finally have an alright Double Dash track on the list. Oh my god, it's the Sugar Rush track from Wreck-It Ralph. Really cool looking track, but they forgot to add Wreck-It Ralph as a playable character. At least he's in Sonic All-Stars Racing, next to fucking Team Fortress 2 Heavy, what the hell? The fucking saxophone, dude! Oh my god, they did not need to go that hard with the music here, it's so good! Oh yeah, the track is alright too, I guess. Bump Ruins is a pretty fun one. Big fan of the theming and the dead thumps everywhere. Good use of anti-grav, gliding, and underwater driving as well. I like that they essentially give you 3 different ways to approach this middle section using them. This isn't Choco Mountain. I miss falling off in the original and having to do the whole lap again. It was incredibly stupid, but it's honestly what made this track unique and kind of funny. This version is okay. Mushroom Gorge, a classic and fan favorite. But again, I prefer how it felt on the Wii. I think the spacing of the mushrooms just felt better, and I find it kind of janky on 200. Tokyo Blur. They call it that because all these city courses just blur together. This one is very bland aesthetically, but I actually do quite like the layout here. A lot of opportunities for maximum mini turbos. Tokyo Blur. They call it that because all these city courses just- wait, never mind, this is Bangkok. Okay, but to be fair, Bangkok definitely has a little more variety compared to the other city-inspired tracks. A lot of tight turns here, but I think the challenge is balanced. I'm a big fan of the third lap here where you drive backwards. If it wasn't for that, Peach Gardens wouldn't be this high up. It's a pleasant track, but without the unique twist, that's all it would be. Okay, before you get mad at me, listen, just hear me out. They've ruined the section with the cars, and no, making them spin does not fix it. It sounds silly, but those moving cars in the original basically brought the whole thing together. This track is still good, but not great. Sunshine Airport is quite fun, though I wish it leaned a bit more into the Mario Sunshine theme. It's a bit of a nitpick, but when the course is such a direct reference to that game, I would have liked a bit more fan service. I see a lot of people consider this track not to be that great, or just okay at best. I think Wild Woods is a little better than that. Racing down the water slide is pretty fun. If only Cooper Cape let you do that in this game. Los Angeles Laps. From what I've heard and seen about LA, I think this track could have used a little more shit smeared on the sidewalk to truly be accurate to the city. Alright, watch closely nerds, this is how to win at GBA Mario Circuit. First, drive backwards at the start of the race, and then you win. It's as simple as that. Maple Tree Way. I could talk about the course itself and how it's pretty good, but I'm actually going to use this part to mention how fucking broken the half pipes in this game are. You can't see shit going off them. It's so painfully clear they weren't made for this game. Moonview Highway is mainly up here for nostalgia reasons. I love the original, but this version guarded so much of the traffic that it just feels too empty and easy now. And again, there's so many traffic-based courses in this game now that it loses a lot of the charm it had. Daisy Circuit is a lovely course. I don't know, I'm running out of unique things to say for every track. Can you blame me? There's fucking 96 of them now. Oh, you gotta love the theme of this course. It takes place inside of a giant clock. Like, who comes up with this shit? I do really miss how the DS's version of this track matched the style of the original Mario 64 level, but this version still looks excellent. They finally did it. Big House Course. Nathaniel Bandy is rolling in his grave. I greatly enjoy when underwater driving is used as an alternative, often shorter route on a track. It's a much better implementation of the mechanic rather than just driving through the main road but underwater in my opinion. Okay, so Mario Circuit, not to be confused with Mario Circuit, is a much better track than Mario Circuit, and I personally consider it a little better than Mario Circuit, but I don't prefer it over this Mario Circuit, but they're all at least better than Toad Circuit, but Yoshi Circuit. Other than that bullshit, it's a good course. Mario Kart Stadium. What an incredible first course for a Mario Kart game, dude. Easily the best first impression across the entire series. Great showcase of the game's new anti-grav on top of all that. Yoshi's Island. Now this is how you do fan service. Amazing work from the devs. This track feels straight out of that game. Let's be honest here, we all miss the mystery driver placements gimmick from the original Yoshi Valley, even if it is a little redundant today, since all I need is one bullet bill to know that I'm getting my shit rocked by 7 different Yoshi players. DS Mario Circuit is a really fun and surprisingly challenging version of Mario Circuit. I'd say it's the best in the game out of the fucking 5 of them, Jesus Christ. I spent about 20 minutes figuring out how I could make a Dragon D's Nutstroke without it sounding really stupid, but it wasn't working out, so I decided to drift away from that idea. Anyway, please remember to leave a dislike and unsubscribe. Even though Paris Promenade really isn't as ambitious or as unique as a lot of the other city tracks, it has the perk of being the first one that was added to the game. You know, before they got stale. Who knew racing through sewers could be so much fun? Waluigi Stadium is the much cooler cousin to Wario Stadium. Better tricks, more interesting obstacles, cooler looking mud. Wario Stadium wishes it could be this good. Bowser Castle 3 is the ultimate proof that retro SNES tracks don't need to be flat and overly simplistic recreations of the original. SNES tracks are blank canvases that you can mold into amazing and fresh new courses like this one. Animal Crossing, aside from having a really stupid name, is another great fan service track, especially with its multiple season variants. I think it's just honestly really cool that we have courses set in other Nintendo series. Oh yeah, I forgot Wario also owns a fucking gold mine. This game raises so many questions for me. Does he have employees? Are all these properties tied to like a massive company that he runs? Does Wario pay taxes? Probably not. It's still unbelievable that they managed to make a track that's just an outline of Yoshi function as good as it does. Big shame they didn't bring back the tunnel shortcut from the original, as it was one of the coolest aspects of this track, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's right. I'm putting an oval in the top 30 even though I was complaining about them earlier. Excitebike is peak, baby! It's in the name! Just look at this exciting gameplay. Yeah! Now, Mu City on 150cc is a very nice track that does an amazing job of translating the source material into Mario Kart, but holy shit is this track made for 200cc. It's the closest thing we'll get to a true F-Zero sequel. I know Royal Raceway should be lower on the list for removing the ability to drive up to the castle alone, but actually I very much enjoy this one despite that. The turns are satisfying, though I do wish the hot air balloons were more of an obstacle in the gliding section. N64 Rainbow Road should not be split into 3 sections. It makes it far too short. I think they overcorrected when trying to fix the fact that it was overly long in the original, but they also added a lot to the track so it's not just an empty flat road anymore, so it's kinda dumb. Toad Harbor is honestly such a well-balanced track, a token example of what a good Mario Kart course should be. Galaxy is easily my favorite 3D Mario game, as I mentioned earlier. But what this track has that Rosalina's Ice World doesn't is incredible design with unique set pieces, like this Stormcloud that you race through. Yeah, Sydney Sprint is a biased high-tier pick considering I live in Australia, but come on, you gotta admit it's definitely one of the better city tour tracks. Could've used some kangaroos though. Mario Kart 8 has a lot of Rainbow Roads now, and even though SNES Rainbow Road is definitely the most primitive in design,
it's a road that you go when you die.
Shy Guy Falls? Yeah, I sure did. You race up and down a fucking waterfall on this track, that's raw as hell. What a glow up. Calamari Desert was already a pretty good track on N64, but they gave it the tour treatment here and made every single lap a different route. You even get to drive through the tunnel, hell yeah. Considering Nintendo literally got the devs of Donkey Kong Country to design and develop this one track, then yeah, I'd fucking expect it to be a good DK themed course. I think the majority of players, at least from what I've seen, can agree that Singapore is hands down the best city track. It has the most depth and variety, plus a very smooth layout compared to most of the others. No, I will not elaborate as to why Shroom Ridge is this high up. Electrodrome is the Mario Kart 8 standout, the course everyone pointed at when asked to define the original game, and for good reason. An incredible atmosphere with top-notch track design and great anti-grav implementation. You know, the Double Dash courses they brought back for 8 have been a pretty mixed bag, some good choices and some not great ones. But they rounded it off with the all-time great DK Mountain, now with new funky mode and all. Music Park, or as we Australians call it, Melody Motorway, which is just such a better name. You can never go wrong with alliteration. Language devices aside, you race on a big piano that plays as you drive across it, so 10 out of 10. You gotta appreciate the amount of love and effort they pour into the guest series courses, and the same cannot be understated with Hyrule Circuit. They even managed to include a secret shortcut accessed with a small puzzle that is absurdly creative. Dude, they cooked with Ribbon Road. Who knew they could transform a GBA course into such a masterpiece, such a colourful track with a satisfying yet challenging layout? Oh my goodness. Wii Rainbow Road has a reputation for not only being one of the hardest Rainbow Roads in the series, but one of the hardest tracks in general. So it's pretty fitting that it rounds up the DLC here. Now do it on 200cc without falling out. It's fucking Waluigi Pinball, of course it's in the top 5. Yeah, there's just no arguing that 3DS Rainbow Road isn't the best one. There's a reason it was given the prestigious honor of becoming a Smash Bros stage, right next to other icons like Hannonbow and Find Me. Is that really what that stage is called? Mount Wario. I sure will. The original sprint tracks, i.e. the tracks that are split into 3 separate sections, are so good, and I really hope the next Mario Kart 5 years from now has more tracks like them. And finally, the best track from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is Big Blue, baby! Oh my god, this track is a masterpiece. It's so fast and frantic and fun and blue, and oh my god, are you seeing this gameplay right now? Shit. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this really stupid ranking. If you didn't agree with any of my placements, please feel free to leave your own full ranking of all 96 tracks in the comments below. Okay, but real talk for a second, I love this game and I like racing on all of these tracks in general, except maybe like the bottom 7, those ones are kinda trash. Also, with how many tracks are in this game now, my opinions of them will constantly shift around a little bit, so take most of my placements with a grain of salt, as this list will probably be inaccurate from like a month from now. You know, they wouldn't move around too drastically, but maybe like a couple of slots if they were to, you know, like change. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, maybe consider subscribing as a treat. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later.